So let's take it back to the Corn Exchange. So that was our first venue.
Yeah.
Our first event. I remember when we went and met with Adam, we proposed the idea. Shout out Adam Warner, he was up for it. It was iconic, wasn't it? Like the setting downstairs. I just remember like being nervous, like not knowing A, how many people would come, B, if the people who'd signed up to take part would actually go through with it.
Yeah.
And then also, you know, we can place everything together, but we didn't know how the night would we had a vision of how it would flow, but we'd never orchestrated it before.
There was definite nerves there, but there was more excitement in the build up to it. The bit that I sort of sticks in my mind was the day of setup. And seeing, because that space downstairs in the Corn Exchange is amazing, and we've walked in there hundreds of thousands of times just in our lifetime being in Leeds, so we know exactly what it looks like. But then watching the guys erect the ring, it's like, wow, this is going to be pretty special. I remember just taking probably about an hour of taking different snaps on my phone, walking around and getting different angles. But that's the moment for me that I became really nervous about that night and wanting it to sort of succeed, and then worrying about how many people we're going to get through the door, whether it's going to be a success, whether people are going to come and enjoy it. And obviously they did. And moving to later on in that night, I met people that night who've been part of Leeds industry for as long as I have that I didn't really know, and now we're like best of mates. Sophia being the main one, massive shout out to Sophia, Bella. Can't thank her enough for what she's done for us guys. But yeah, that was the first time I really met Sophia, and she's been in Leeds 17 years, so that's what sticks with me for that night.
Yeah, shout out Sophia. I also remember just looking round and like just the expression in people's eyes, like it was electric. Do you know what I mean? It was like the energy in that room was insane. I remember getting in my salmon red tux, strutting about, and I remember the beauty of like the Corn Exchanges, the way that the stairs went was a natural walkway. And it was just regal. That moment will always stick out with me. And like, you know, you had people on the top balcony watching, you had people downstairs.
I think to agree on that point, like one thing that really sort of makes that point valid is when we look back at the photos of that night, like some of the best photos are the crowd shots. And there's that crowd shot of Cliffy's table with Jack and Dazzler, and they're all just stood like just screaming at the ring. Like that's the best photo of that event. And then there's that little video of Paul from King Cobra, and he's just doing his own thing, dancing around the ring. It's like that just sticks to that point, doesn't it? That the atmosphere was actually electric.
Yeah, I mean, the aftermath of that, people generally buzzing, keen to know when the next date was, like wanting to get involved, like actually like take part in it again. It were overwhelming, like in a real good way. It was overwhelming. It was like, okay, we've nailed this, where next? And then obviously where next became arguably the beacon of Leeds.
Again through Sophia, introduced us to Leeds Lord Mayor, Jane Dowson.
Do you remember when we got a full squad down to Civic Quarter?
Yeah, in the lead up to that.
Yeah. So anybody who was like sort of involved or helping us round and about,
even just
or all the participants, like we had a good team.
We had managers of bars. We had managers of bars that weren't even involved. Just wanted to come and see what we were about.
It was a proper like. It was nice to feel like the industry on that platform, because for me, I find that sometimes the city, as in like the powers that be, can like be really stringent on like the nightlife side of things, yet celebrate the nightlife to get people there. But as soon as there's a noise complaint, I'll just shut it down. So it was interesting. We're having our cup of tea with Lord Mayor, and we brought that up, and she was really interested, man. And
it's because her background was hospitality, though.
Yeah.
So she really knows what it means to be part of this industry, really, in Leeds.
But it was good to see like the centre focus been on the industry, and then man, what are your thoughts of the town hall? Because like even even when I walk past the town hall now, I still give it a little nod. Do you know what I mean? I give it a little salute because it's like, I personally, you know, as a budding stand-up comedian, you know, I think of the heads that have performed there. I think of the people that have graced that stage.
On the boxing level.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's insane to think like the people that have graced that, and for us, the industry to take over one night, ram that building out, and be able to do it our way. Exactly. Like, that's a proper testament. Second event, but just been local lads. You know what I mean? Repping bits. You know what I mean? With boys in manor, and actually able to do some. I remember trying to blag in to see Jack Whitehall there, mate. Like, trying to say we're on his guest list, and we went through. And
who are you?
Who are you, like? Yeah, I mean, and I had to watch it behind the pillar. Like, I was like peering behind, and you know what I mean, man? Like, 8 months later,
so like, it was a bit scary in the lead up to that because the capacity. So we had between 500 and 600 people at Corn Exchange, and the capacity for Town Hall was 1,400.
Yeah, they had different back caves, didn't there? All these different rooms.
Yeah, different rooms, which I think when we were looking around, we were like, we could have people sat here, we could have people sat here.
We'll have 15 bars up there. Yeah.
That was the original plan, wasn't it? But we went to, so when we went in there, and it was like, I think we did 50% more people in the event itself. I think we had around 900 people through the doors, which is unbelievable to look at. Obviously, if we'd have had more, we'd have had upstairs, but that backdrop with that organ in the background, and obviously the tiered seats on this side of the ring, was like, it'd be hard to replicate that sort of background.
Well, you say, like, I mean, Corn Exchange for the shots were incredible, but for me, got to walk down the stairs, I did my Facebook Live, and like, the roar of that room, like, I feel like the lower ceilings, even though Corn Exchange's got higher ceiling, the best ceiling in the world. But there were I just feel like something inside really resonated with like level up here. Like it generally felt
at the town hall.
Yeah, man. Generally felt
that. And
even as a personal accolade.
To this day, looking back, I keep going back to photos and memories of each event. But to this day, my favourite photo of any of our events is that photo of you behind the ring. So you're in the ring and you've got the crowd with the torches on the phones held up and the camera behind you, mate. That picture is unreal. And that just sums up Town Hall, really, because that crowd was unbelievable.
It was mad. And I think, like, that were our second event.
Plus, we had the after party,
yeah, Iberica, that was alright after party. Yeah. But it was proper Gatsby vibes.
Yeah.
But I'd say the fallout from the town hall was like, it really put us on the map. I think it solidified us as it wasn't just a one-time fluke, or, you know, it's got longevity in the actual event itself, the idea of it, showing to us that more people wanted to get involved, even people who took part before. It could have sort of been like a rocket in a glass ceiling though, you know, because we've reached such a height straight away. Where do we go from there? And like, it could have pulled like the steam out of our momentum, but what I felt it did is it really like got other cities paying attention to us. It really got not just the Leeds industry, but, you know, I'm fortunate to have a good affiliation with the Manchester side, Liverpool, you know, London even, and a few heads
contacting us, people from Newcastle contacting us.
It's just sort of from the biggest form of flattery is we had someone trying to rip us, didn't we?
Let's not go into that. Oxygen. Nah, we did like. I mean, that gets onto sponsors, I suppose. We've approached a lot of drinks brands to be sponsors of the events, and someone did try to rip us, but do you know what? It is a big flattery, a big form of flattery, isn't it? So. But yeah, going from the town hall, which was so big.
That's what she said. And then no sponsors. You were on sponsors.
Yeah, I said.
I think you were going to pick up
Rocks,
Bacardi and Rocks.
Yeah, so
because you said box of gin, and then we went.
So yeah, just going on to sponsors. I'd like to say a massive shout out and a massive thank you to our first official drinks sponsor. I think we were first.
Yeah.
It was Bacardi Brown Foreman who helped us put together that.
At Town Hall.
At the event at the Town Hall. So massive shout out to them. And obviously moving from that event, it's sort of allowed us to approach.
Well, we had a physical, like, brand. Like before, it was like, you know,
an idea.
It was an idea, but then seeing it form and then seeing the excitement, and also it's not just the excitement, it's who really got it for us. Like, I mean, I think you'd agree, like, the sponsors that we've had, and, you know, we've got a long, well working relationship with, like, they were there front and centre, they understood it, they got it, and they were invested not only in the brand but in the idea, in us as what we were producing for industry.
Yeah, definitely. I think the original idea for us was to get, with being the drinks industry, was to get actual drinks brands like constantly as sponsors. But what we found, not through really trying, is that people that want to build that relationship with us and want to continually sponsor us are actually sites and venues that fighters work for, that our participants work for. And some that don't, and they're the ones that have stuck. So again, massive thank you to Roxy Leisure as it is now, because they've got so many sites. Massive shout out to them.
Shout out to Bunderbust as well.
Yeah, 100%. They're the two guys, well, two businesses that have continually supported us from what was the next event after the Town Hall. So yeah.